Great good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful Friday, August 28th, year of our Lord 2026. It's 9:08 on my Cordaro Jewelers watch. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, broadcasting today from the United States of America, the place where the brave, like the veterans we salute today, thanks to John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group. They've made us and kept us free. We've lost them, but salute them today. Like Ronaldo Alexandria, Dixon City, James Blaszewski, Laughlin, Joseph Zawatsky, Plains Township, Joseph Gavanis, Blakely, and Teddy McHenry, Benton Township, Columbia County. The United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our amazing, irreplaceable, and profoundly wise founding fathers who knew that government should not be and set out to make sure that it would not be our parent, our guide, our direction, our salvation, because they knew government power means less freedom, less liberty, and less choice. They also knew that government power would be abused. That's human nature. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared by law to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. Freedom couldn't be parceled out to groups. It couldn't be controlled by government or government officials because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press, no matter how much they lie. Now, because they were armed with these freedoms, and only because of that fact, these Americans, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, many of them rejects from around the world, they and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. Less government, more freedom, greatest country ever. Yeah. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro Show, it'll always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And yes, the double entendre is intended. And so, we gavel to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our total, immersive, immovable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here for the balance of this singular, extraordinary morning. Well, we're back. Oh, the mayor of Scranton was on with Punch and Judy today. Jason and Nancy. Powder Puff interview. They allowed her to lie, and we're going to touch on that later. But first, E.J. Samuel's in here. He covers high school football for our stations. And high school, I can't even believe it, high school football starting tonight. I know this. As a former player, you're excited to start the season because the 2-a-days and the 3-a-days are over.
Yep.
But this is going to be a great football season in Northeast PA, isn't it?
It is shaping up to be a very exciting season. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of questions, and some teams went really far last year. And they get a chance to go just as far, if not farther, this year. So, Bob, when we look at it, and one of the big teams that comes, let's just right off the hop, that comes to mind, your Dunmore Bucks are going to be real good. They've got a quarterback that they feel confident with who was pretty good last year.
Mm-hmm.
Their line is, I took the look, I watched practice. The line's big. They know what they're doing. Their offense is going to be fantastic. So you've got Dunmore, Weston Yanone. Remember that name. He's going to be big. Some of the Scranton schools. I mean, Scranton Prep is going to do some damage this year. Terry Gallagher made the state playoffs last year. They lost, but it was a good stepping stone because they still return a lot of guys. They're playing in Maryland today. That's how good Prep is.
Yeah.
They're playing out of state schools. That's a 4:00 game. Playing a private school called Loyola Blakefield. The Dons. Love that name. And just Lackawanna Conference primarily. great as far as the talent is
Yeah,
concerned.
yeah.
I think Scranton, West Scranton, they're going to be on the mend. Scranton just brought in a new coach. His name is he goes by the last name of Miles.
Jack Miles, my old teammate. Yeah.
So he's coaching at Scranton. I'm really excited because he's a quarterback whisperer, and he's got a junior over there named Jack Kabetz. He's going to be. I think Scranton's going to do a lot better. People were saying, "Oh yeah, they might not win 4 or 5 games." I gave him 7. He got a tough schedule. I still think he's coming out with 7 wins. I like him a lot. West Scranton, same way. Jake Manetti's coaching over there. He's actually he's one of my favorites in the Lackawanna Conference.
By the way, great article on the Wazilchak's family.
Oh yes.
Today. Well, I couldn't find the article. Great picture anyway.
Yeah.
About the Wazilchaks and that great tradition. Knew the dad. Knew the guys. Great family and football family. All right, so tell us elsewhere. What else we got? We got right here in Luzerne County. What do we got happening?
In Luzerne County, there's a couple of teams that you want to highlight. The first and foremost is the Dallas Mountaineers. Every single year, pretty much going to make it to the district championship. But this year, it's a little bit different because they've got what could be the best athlete in the Wyoming Valley Conference, and he goes by the last name of Pitt Cabbage. He's the running back. Coach Rich Manello is one of the best coaches. I mean, he's up there. He's up there in the all-time list, constantly with a winning program. Last year, they started off 1-5, and they rattled all the rest of the wins off, and they made it all the way to the district championship. Like that just doesn't happen without good coaching. And another thing is I want to take a moment to say they have decided Josh Bolero, who I went to school with, who passed away due to cancer. They give his jersey number to one player each year that represents what he was as a player. He went and played at Dartmouth. He's class act. Brady Eckenrode is going to get the honor of wearing his jersey this season. So, and I think Dallas is going to be really, really good. Lehman, brand new coaching staff and a completely different offense, but still saw a lot of guys. I was at Media Day, was talking to a lot of guys. They look big. I think the big surprise, Bob, is Hanover area. I honestly think Hanover area has got it going. So Eric Richardson's their coach. He's got his triplets playing. Logan, Connor, and Brody Richardson. And Logan Richardson's their quarterback. He last year threw for over 1,000 yards, and they only won 6 games. This year they're returning a whole core of guys. They're all juniors. And so they've got it going. That program is back to where it was. Because we used to think the last 5-10 years, oh, Hanover's not that good. We assume they're not that good. People are overlooking them. They're going to do some damage. I think the same thing can be said about Crestwood as well. Now, Crestwood's got a couple of questions, but they seem to be answered. It seems that on the offensive side of the ball, Crestwood's got a lot of answers. Now, they lost that Jaden Shedlock, who was their quarterback for 4 straight years, but they've got a strong running game, and the community gets behind them.
Anything else stick out to you? We got in our minute we have left.
I think that one thing that has to get mentioned is North Pocono up here, because they just they're the best around. They're the best team in this area currently.
North Pocono.
If I had a top 3, it would be Dunmore, Dallas, and North Pocono at number 1, because North Pocono, again, they bring back a lot of guys. They bring back Joe Brisky last year, over 1,000 yards. Chase Zimmerman, senior quarterback this year, and of course the best athlete in all of District 2, and it's not even close. Cole West, the wide receiver. They are going to go very, very far.
Well, you're going to have to live up to all of this hype now.
Oh,
you got to worry. This is being recorded.
Oh, I know. We'll play it back.
I'm happy you're excited about this because I am too. And you know what's funny? My friend of mine, Mr. Paul, my executive producer, he said he just got a senior citizen pass. We could go to the games for free now.
You know what? And you know what? They're going to be worth watching.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
But yeah, it is exciting for District 2. Usually we say maybe all the Danville, Philly, Pittsburgh schools are going to destroy everyone. But I think that we've got just as good of a shot as anybody this year.
All right.
Honestly.
E.J. Samuel, thank you very much. High school football tonight. We're going to take a break at 9:18 on my Bicardo's watch. We'll come back, a little music, a little history, and then you. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Billy Joe Royal. Murph tells us that he had his biggest hit with Down in the Boondocks, and it peaked at number 9 this date, 1965. And, of course, 1922, the first commercial ever on the airwaves. WEAF, New York City. And now you know we have great commercials and great sponsors here. So, by the way, Cabinet Guy says, go Mounts, class of 82. I guess that's Mountaintop, right? And Rich McHale just reminding us, he says, a reminder that September which is coming up next week, is Child Cancer Awareness Month. Consider a donation to these precious kids at St. Jude's, even if we have to give up that jelly roll. All right. Somebody else, Bob, can't listen long, but I'd like your opinion on this. The Little League girl is as good as the other players, but the media's amazement that a girl can play ball has become condescending and from complimentary to insulting. I didn't see this story. I'm a sexist in this regard. I have to admit it. If a girl wants to play sports with the boys, now not the locker rooms, not the bathrooms, I don't have a problem with it. I truly don't. And fortunately or unfortunately, biologically, Little League would probably be the last place she could shine playing with the boys because then they're going to outpace her. That's just what is. But I have not followed that coverage. Of course they're condescending. Of course they're condescending. It might not fit their narrative. Oh, you're right. By the way, I keep looking, and you got to pray. There's about 100 Americans who are unaccounted for after these Nepalese flash floods. Someone had sent me a video of it 2 days ago, and it was incredible. And I'm watching on my monitor now these floods coming down. And it's really incredible. Well, you know what's going to happen next, by the way. Oh, it's climate change. No, because this has never happened before. We've never had a flood, ever. Anyway, let's get back to the mayor's interview on the morning show. Now, how do you know that Paige Cognetti's lying? Her lips are moving. So in addition to her usual lies, she's just, and it's sad actually, she's parroting Shapiro's lies that we have 2 deaths from measles. Not with measles, from measles. Now, one of the deaths is an infant who was delivered, and the poor baby's spleen ruptured, and the baby died. Had nothing to do with measles. Literally nothing. The poor child passing, this family's agony, being used by Shapiro and Cognetti, Paige Cognetti, and they know they're lying. They know they're lying. It's disgraceful. By the way, when Shapiro talks about vaccinations, the vaccination for measles, it doesn't come till you're 12 to 15 months old. The child was just delivered. The vaccination had nothing to do with it. They're trying to protect the pharmaceutical companies, which are trying to pump our kids with about 70 shots. And nobody disagrees with the measles shot. But the vaccination wouldn't have even occurred in a newborn. That's how much these people lie. This is how much Paige Cognetti lies. And she got no pushback at all from that sad fact in the morning show interview, which is why she'll go on the morning. She'll go on the morning show. She won't come out with myself. She won't come out with Rob O'Donnell. And by the way, Paige Cognetti, you are welcome anytime. Now, the second death, the coroner can't even figure out what they're talking about. The county commissioners in Lancaster County can't figure out what Josh Shapiro and Paige Cognetti are talking about. See, this is what the left-wing lunatics do. They come up with a lie, and they continue the lie, and they'll continue the lie as forever because the unquestioning media, which is their friend and support, will never ask the question, just like happened on the morning show. Never ask. Well, wait a minute. How would a infant, a newborn death be affected by not vaccinating? And wasn't the coroner's decision that it was a ruptured spleen that killed the child? But no, Josh Shapiro says it. Paige Cognetti apes it. And by the way, even after I correct her today, and Rob O'Donnell corrects her this afternoon, proving she's a liar, she'll probably continue the lie. It's insane. Oh, cabinet guy says Dallas Mountaineers. All right. It's unbelievable. Nobody knows what Shapiro's talking about, but Paige Cognetti, the parrot, that's what we're going to have to call her anymore, Parrot Paige. She parrots what the National Democrats, what the left-wing lunatics say, because she's a left-wing lunatic. Parrot Paige. So she comes on the morning show, and she lies. Now, short version in the last few seconds we have left before the break. Robert F. Kennedy is seeing that we're pumping children with schedules of vaccinations that are almost beyond comprehension. Now, each of these was lobbied for by pharmaceutical companies who make money by the forced vaccinations. He's cut that schedule down. Shapiro is on the side of the pharma companies, not your children. Just remember that. Paige Cognetti's on the side of the pharma companies, not your children. And by the way, it's my body. Oh, it goes out the window when it comes to their financial backers in the pharma industry. This is insane. One of the listeners says it, and this nails it. Bob, do you think these clowns are trying to save face with the COVID vaccine debacle? Oh, yes. They're actually, Paige Cognetti and Shapiro, two of the phoniest people on the planet, are going to lie about everything related to this, even after Fauci was exposed as he's not a saint. He's exposed as a criminal. Ask the women who took the shot who didn't know that it would cause their miscarriage. The tens of thousands of women. Ask them. Unreal. Ask the family who did not have an opportunity to say goodbye to their parent at a nursing home. Ask the family who lost their loved one because someone was moved back into the nursing home with COVID. Ask all of them. Disgusting. The Paige lies again. I mean, it shouldn't even be a headline. That's what she does. In every ad, in every speech, and apparently in every appearance on the morning show. 9:31 on Mike Ricardo's watch. We'll be back. Our Veterans Tribute today, as with every day, brought to you by our man John Basiliga and the great Basiliga Hospitality Group. It is Friday now, and maybe after the high school football game, you'll check out the Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township, or the Far Street Tavern on Far Street in the great Trips Park section of West Scranton, the Queen City Tavern right on the main drag in downtown Oliphant. 3 bar restaurants that they're incredible. They're beautiful. Service is great. Food is great. The drinks are great. The atmosphere is tops. Basiliga Hospitality Group. Ronaldo Alexandria. He was 93 when we lost him August 5th. He was from Dixon City. He passed away peacefully at home on August 5th, surrounded by the love and comfort of his family, with his devoted wife, the former Mary Ellen Donnelly, faithfully by his side. Put to rest and funeral through the Hudak O'Shea Gabriel Funeral Home. Member of St. Patrick's Church. Military honors for him at Brigadier General William C. Doyle Memorial Cemetery, Wrightstown, New Jersey. Ronaldo Alexandria. James Blaszewski. He was 82 when we lost him August 11th. He was from Laughlin. Born in Wilkes-Barre, graduate of Sacred Heart High School, Plains. He earned his bachelor degree from King's College. He went on to honorably serve all of us in the U.S. Air Force and later earned his master's degree from the University of Scranton. Certified financial planner, he spent over 40 years working as a financial advisor, retiring from Wells Fargo Advisors. In his earlier years, Jim had a commercial pilot's license, and he loved traveling, skiing, walking, yoga, all that with his wife. He loved conversations and intellectual curiosity about a broad spectrum of subjects and people. He's survived by his wife, Patricia Gritska Blaszewski, his brother, brother-in-law, and other family members. James Blaszewski. Our great veterans this hour, brought to you as always by John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group. Bulldog, I don't have a weather script as far as I can tell. Montage is bringing the weather. I heard the weather, but I just oh, no, I have it. He gave it to me. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by the great folks at Montage. It's another amazing water park weekend, and they've got all kinds of specials. Check out Montage Water Park. It's fantastic. Today, humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 81. Tonight, mainly clear and cooler, low 51. Tomorrow, less humid with sunshine and a few clouds. A beautiful start to the weekend, high 82, low 59. Sunday, periods of clouds and sunshine. A shower cannot be ruled out on Sunday, high 85, low 63. Monday, humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine. An afternoon shower in spots, high 86, low 68. And then into Tuesday, very warm and humid with shifting clouds and sun. A thunderstorm in spots in the morning, followed by a couple of showers in the afternoon in undisclosed locations, apparently. High 86, low 65. It's another great water park weekend at Montage. It's 67 degrees there at Montage right now. Well, you know what this means. Yeah. Tina Maraca in the house. Sotheby's International Realty, Naples, Florida. She can be reached at Sotheby's or directly at Tina Muracco, MURACCO.com. She's your trusted Florida real estate guide, specializing in Southwest Florida. And here she is. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Bob. Hey.
I'm like, I'm on pins and needles, wondering what you're going to bring up today.
It's always a surprise, right?
Yes, I love it.
Well, let's talk about the real estate market in Southwest Florida. Just generally, what's happening? Is it still a buyer's market or what? I haven't talked about that in a while. So, in Southwest Florida, if we're talking about the Naples area, Marco Island, Fort Myers, Bonita, Estero, and even up to like Charlotte County, Southwest Florida is really turning a corner. And this time of year it's not normal.
Yeah.
So when I'm saying it's turning a corner, so Collier County with the Naples area, our sales from last July, they're up 10%. Lee County's up 13%, and Charlotte County's up 14%. So what we were in for a long time was more of a buyer's market. We had a lot of inventory. That is changing. Prices, prices got better over the past year, and I think the buyers have finally realized that and started snapping things up. And what's happening now, at least in our single-family home market, is prices are increasing again. So, in the Naples area, the median price is for the single-family homes is $800,000. That's 11% more than last July.
Wow.
Yeah. So Fort Myers, this is the interesting part. If you're looking at the diversity of pricing here in the Naples area compared to like the Fort Myers, Cape Coral area, the median single-family home price in that area is $385,000. So substantially less than the Naples area.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
if we go even north to Punta Gorda, Charlotte County, it's $353,000. So those numbers are all up year over year from July of last year, but it's definitely coming back. The other interesting thing is condo sales are really up. And in Collier County, Naples area, they're up 22%. Lee County, they're up 27%. And Charlotte County, they're up 20%.
Wow.
And so condo pricing is not necessarily going up. That's the interesting part about this. So condo pricing is pretty flat in some areas, in most of these areas, but, people are starting to buy them, which tells us, the condo pricing is right now. The condo market went through a shift because we did have a lot of special assessments. The condo rules changed a lot, because of the Surfside. Condos, in a lot of cases, the HOA or the condo fees went up substantially, and there were special assessments. Those have leveled out now. Insurance and prices in a lot of areas are starting to go down. So now we're seeing buyers be more attracted to condos again, just because the prices are less than single-family homes and the carrying costs seem more reasonable with those lower prices. So
it's a dynamic market. There's still bargains to be had, though, right? And still reasonably priced
100%.
properties.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I should say in Southwest Florida, talking about the real estate market is so broad because, as downtown Naples compared to North Naples, the pricing there is completely different. If we're talking about Bonita Estero compared to downtown Naples, pricing is totally different. And even within those cities, if you're talking about a country club neighborhood versus, a coastal neighborhood, it's just different. And, depending on what you're looking for, but I would say 100%, there are still a lot of very motivated sellers out there. And this should be an interesting season for us.
Neat.
Because I'm expecting a lot of inventory to come back on the market that didn't sell last season. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, I get a lot of listeners asking me, does she do real estate in Pennsylvania? And do you?
Not yet.
All right, but soon, maybe.
Maybe soon.
All right.
Okay.
I just wanted to know, Tina. They always ask. And I said, well, she could send you to somebody who can until she does it herself. She's a good
100%.
contact either way. Tina Morocco,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bob. Take care.
Great talking to you on a Friday, my dear.
Definitely. Take care.
That's Tina Morocco, Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's International Realty, Naples, Florida, your trusted guide for Florida real estate specializing in Southwest Florida. You can reach her at Sotheby's or Tina Morocco, MURACCO.com, or any social media. I follow her on Instagram, Tina Morocco. We'll be back. We're waiting for the Clancy trial verdict. They started deliberating this morning. We're going to have Dominic Morocco on at 10:05 to talk a little bit more about that crazy trial. This is Barry McGuire. This date, 1965, Murph tells us he was moving up the charts with his hit, Eve of Destruction. Murph says, which will happen if the Dems win the midterms. Oh, let's go to the blower right now. Barbara from Courtdale. Hi, Barbara. Thanks for holding.
Hiya. I want to know, what did Paige Pagnotti have as a baby? The sex.
I have no idea.
Who takes care of that kid while she's on these campaigns?
Oh, her baby. Well, a lot of working mothers have to do that, Barbara. You know that.
Right. So she's so worried about everybody else's kids. Why isn't she just paying attention to her own kid?
Well, I can't go there with you. I mean, women.
I think so.
Women need to
because
work.
she's going and
A lot
she's
of
doing
women
this
wanna
campaign
work.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
why can she get away with what she's doing?
the problem that bothers me is that she's a liar. And
Yes,
everything
big
she
one.
talks about and everything she promotes in terms of accomplishments and everything she talks about in terms of Rob Bresnahan's record are all lies. And now that we've got the measles lie that she's repeating, just like Shapiro made it up.
Well, Shapiro is just as bad.
Oh yeah, Parrot Page is just ridiculous. But Parrot Page repeats everything he says and everything that comes out of Democrat left-wing lunatic headquarters.
What happened to the Democratic Party?
I don't know. It's sad. They're over.
The
They're the Communist
Republican
Party.
Party is getting pretty goddamn close to what the Democrats are. They are fighting amongst themselves like cats and dogs.
Well, there's just enough Republicans to gum up the works, both Washington and Harrisburg, because they're afraid of the same voters that the Democrat Party's afraid of. The
Well,
left-wing lunatics. It's crazy.
how can all these illegals vote?
Well, because Josh Shapiro gave them driver's licenses. And once you have a driver's license, you're registered to vote. And it's happening where there are Democrat governors all over the country.
Well, that's not
New Jersey
fair.
found out, they said, oh, it was only 6,600 illegals registered to vote. Like, what?
He's full of crap.
Yeah. They're
And I'll
nutty
tell you,
people.
it's to the point already. And I wish they would stop putting that stuff up in the sky. That thunderstorm last night was horrendous.
There's a lot of questions, and I think they are all legitimate about what they're doing in the sky, what they're doing to seed the clouds, what they're doing to, you see these very odd streams of, it's either smoke or clouds all over the place when it should be clear skies. It's disconcerting, Barbara. We'll say that.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a mule, a baby mule, a small one. And he's getting his winter hair in already.
Really? Is that normal?
No.
Okay.
So we're going to be in for an early fall and an early winter.
So you could read that like a caterpillar almost, right?
You betcha.
Oh, that's neat.
That's, Mr. Poe, he's quite old, and he's getting his winter hair.
Mr. Poe. That's his name? Poe?
That's his name.
P-O-E, as in...
No, P-O. P-O.
Oh, just P-O. Mr. Poe. I like that name a lot.
I really do have a mule in my yard.
That's great.
And he is one of the most lovable. You see him, he is gorgeous. He is shiny black.
Love it. Love it. Well, you give Mr. Poe a kiss for me, would you please?
Okay. And do you know how old I am?
No.
I'm 83.
You're a kid. You're a spring chicken yet.
And I take care of him every day.
Nice.
So this, we have to do a lot more, and they're not doing it.
Barbara, we've got a lot of work to do to get normal people out to vote against the Paige Cognettis and Josh Shapiro's of this world because they're liars. Thank you, my dear. We've got to go, but I appreciate it. Thanks, Barbara.
Okay.
All right, honey. Let's go to break. We'll be back. Bloomberg in the middle, 9:54 on my Picardo's watch. The Young Rascals. Not to be confused with the Rascals. This date, 1967, Murph says they released their hit, How Can I Be Sure? Bob Cordaro back with you. A couple of texts to get to. Listener saying there's no depth to how disgusting these people are, using the death of an infant to score political points, all with a smile on her face, and the hosts of the morning show are just as pathetic. By the way, that was yesterday's interview. I apologize. I was inferring that it was today's. And others trying to scare people into this CCB state order, meaning Shapiro's. Crazy. Bob, and I cannot stand Cognetti. There is nothing these people won't do to schmooze the public and lie. I'm so angry to think how dumb some people are, but I see it in everyday life too. Dems are thick-headed followers. God help us. LTS, says Mountaintop. Back at you. Somebody else now with a different opinion, one of the trolls. You can lie all you want about Shapiro and Cognetti. Please tell me the lie. Tell me what it is. See, this is all they care about. They're going to win and win big in November. Blue tsunami coming. Well, I don't think that's going to happen, number one. Shapiro's more likely to win, but Page ain't winning. She's so shallow. She's as shallow as the puddle in front of my house. This is who she is. And you, at some point, your lies catch up with you. But this dummy-crat will vote blindly for liars who are insulting your intelligence, by the way. Maybe you have none. Another listener, you can sum up the Democrats running for office in about 5 words. They think you're stupid. In all aspects. A person with reasonable intelligence doesn't think men belong in women's locker rooms. You're dumb. You don't think you need a mask walking around Lake Scranton by yourself. You're dumb. You think maybe 78 shots by the time you're 6 years old might not be the best thing for your child. You're dumb. That's what they think. That's lawnmower guy. Yeah, you nailed it. Another, Bob, the interview with Parrot Page was yesterday morning. The latest anti-Stacey Garrity ads, if you listen closely, are cut and pasted statements she said last year. Her statements were made around the same time Shapiro had his lips on the dupa of the data centers. Oh, yeah, and took $5+ million from them. Hey, Bob, I want to point out that certain people protesting businesses in our area yesterday, their handlers take billions and billions of dollars every year that they could put into healthcare system to lower the cost, but they don't. Instead, they pay these idiots instead to protest. And shame on the lady taking her poor child to that political BS all day. They could have spent the day in the park or at school. Amen. There's more coming. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We're going to come back with Dominic Morocco. There's a jury had sent a note to the judge in the Clancy trial. We probably won't find out exactly what that is immediately, but Dominic Morocco will be with us after the news, 10:02 on the Bacardo's Watch. Great good morning, everyone. It's 10:09 a.m. on my Picardo Jewelers watch. This beautiful Friday, August 28th, year of our Lord 2026. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor, with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today thanks to John, like Ronaldo Alexandria, Dixon City, James Blaszewski, Laughlin, Joseph Gavanis, Blakely, Joseph Zawatsky, Plains Township, and Teddy McHenry, Benton, Columbia County. So with history, our amazing founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense after that brief news adjournment, promising that our deep and unalterable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here. And you've heard the big news, but it bears repeating. We have just been approved, the Bob Cordaro Show has just been approved as idiot medicine by the FDA. We are proven cure for idiocy. Maybe not for Paige, maybe not for Josh, but for normal people who have a chance to turn things around. If you just listen, you can be cured. I promise you. You won't fall for their lies. You won't listen to their lies anymore. You'll get it. Okay? So, this trial continues. Jury sending a note to the judge in that Clancy trial. And it is going on. And I asked Dominic Morocco, a former county prosecutor, state prosecutor, and a federal prosecutor, to come on. He's been watching and monitoring the trial for us, and here he is. Dominic, how you doing today, my man?
Bob, good to be with you.
All right, Attorney Morocco, talk to me. We can't make any conclusion or even speculation on the note because we don't know what they asked, but it appears it's not a snap judgment for this jury.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, the good thing as a trial attorney, anytime you see a question from the jury, is indicative of the fact that they're taking their time, going through the evidence, chronologically assessing what they've heard, are discussing it, you'd think, professionally, and then submitting a question, which usually means that there is at least a consensus among people in the jury room that they all have a similar question. Now, as you know, Bob, the question could be a wide range of things. It could simply be something like, could we rehear testimony?
Mm-hmm.
Could we have the judge re-instruct them on the definition of the law? Could we see a piece of evidence?
Which the judges generally would not do. If it's regarding jury instructions, he's saying, well, you got the jury instructions, and he'll generally blow that off.
You're right, Bob. And generally, they tend to blow off a lot of the questions because even if it has something to do with the evidence or the testimony, the judge often will give an answer to the effect of, well, that's your responsibility as a juror to recall and recollect what you heard or didn't hear, and therefore we're not going to go through any testimony or repeat any evidence.
Yeah, you're the trier of fact, jury. Go figure out the facts. Now, it's Friday. Okay, these jurors are now sequestered, I guess, right?
Technically not yet, Bob,
Not yet.
Because they were free to leave last evening. They were free to come to the courthouse today. But you raise an interesting point because if it does go beyond the typical business day today, which is presumably 4:30, 5:30, et cetera, the judge is likely going to do two things. He's probably going to check with them at the end of the day if there is no verdict to inform them that there is a sequestration coming if they proceed into the weekend. In my experience, most of the time when juries hear that, especially in a length of a case like we've had here today, that tends to kick them into gear and produce a verdict sooner than later. Because think about it, Bob, from an everyday perspective, how many people truly want to sit for a trial for a month and then be told they got to be stuck in a hotel room, conference room over the weekend.
Yeah. This Friday compelling them to make decisions could make it happen because, again, they will have the whole day, and they're down to, obviously, you could find her innocent, but that's not going to happen. You can find her innocent by mental defect and so forth. Or they gave that manslaughter charge, which is interesting.
That's right. Yeah, and we discussed that earlier in the week, that could potentially be a compromise for the jury.
Yeah.
Really, as you lay out, Bob, there's 5 choices. It's either guilty of first or second-degree murder, which I'd be surprised at because of her mental illness, an outright acquittal, which I'd be surprised at because she confessed to the killing of these individuals. So it comes down to 2. Not guilty by reason of insanity, or this compromise manslaughter, which the jury may be thinking, if there's 1 or 2 jurors that think that she absolutely has to be guilty of something,
yeah,
but they do believe there's some sort of mental illness, but not rising to the level of insanity, that manslaughter charge could be the one they go for.
That's a scary thought. I mean, you could come up with these things after the fact. I will say this. The one thing that I don't know if you noted it, but I listened to some of the analysis of the prosecution, and I haven't been very impressed with them to start. But they did lay out a time frame, which included normal activities in the midst of the murders, including a phone call with her husband, either immediately after or in the middle of the murders. And I thought that was a pretty effective way to lay it out.
Yeah, it was, and that was their attempt to show that clearly this psychosis was not present, because if it was, what person is going from hearing voices to kill themselves and their children in one moment and literally the next moment having a normal conversation with her husband about picking up child medication and takeout food at the local restaurant?
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is this too, Bob, and maybe you picked this up, is I made it a point to re-listen to the prosecutor's opening statements and then compare and contrast that to the closing arguments that we heard yesterday.
They should match up, really. The prosecution, or both parties, should say, here's what you're going to hear, and then at the end they should be able to say, here's what you've heard.
Exactly, and that's what you'd like it to be. But what I noticed was actually a stark difference in the prosecutor's presentation. At the opening statement, similar to what we just discussed, they focused a lot on manipulation, planning, premeditation, knowing what she's doing, setting it all up to get away with these acts, with a suicide being the end result. But yesterday, while they did mention that and they spent some time on that, they also added in these extra arguments about how the defendant herself either refused to take medication, refused to follow the instructions of the healthcare providers, and snubbed her nose at the treatment she was being offered because she, as a nurse, knew better than them.
Yeah.
And then that's what put her in this position. And it's a wacky argument to make, Bob, because if you believe it to be true, what the prosecution is asking you to believe is that she had a level of mental illness that required all of these medications in the first place. So that sets up the lack of criminal responsibility defense there.
Mm-hmm.
And number 2, even if she didn't take the medication, which the prosecution was arguing, that would likely put her in a worse mental health state because she had an underlying ailment and then didn't treat it properly.
Fascinating. Well, Attorney Dominic Morocco, we hope you'll stay with us. If something happens before noon, give us a call, and we'll update immediately any major happenings in that courtroom, all right?
Will do, Bob. Always a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much. The guy who should have been my attorney, Dominic Morocco. 10:18 on my Cordaro Jewelers Watch. We'll be back. Martin Luther King, the anniversary of his great I Have a Dream speech, 1963. And that's the Beatles. Murph tells us this date, 1968. Their hit Dear Prudence was recorded at Trident Studios, London, England. Bob Cordaro back on the program. Mark the Shark sent me this. And it's a quote from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, poet, dramatist, novelist, and philosopher. And boy, does it describe today's Democrat Party leadership and our mayor running for Congress, Paige Cognetti. Nothing is more terrible than ignorance in action. It just nails it. Oh, Lord. Chief Pat texts and he says, Paige Cognetti is Donald Trump in a blue suit. It's all about her. I'm with you on that. But here's the difference, though, Chief Pat. And I respect the comment. The difference is he does things. He accomplishes things. He makes things happen. Paige Cognetti, nothing. Again, the left-wing lunatic, you're not capable of it. You're literally not capable because you're divorced from fact, truth, and reality. Another Dear Bob ALTS, back at you. Paige Cognetti's ad states she balanced the budget. Please tell me if she does balance the budget by raising taxes 33%. Am I wrong? She has not raised taxes because she's been in election mode. But the Pennsylvania Economy League has pointed out that we're facing a whopper after this fall election because she's done whatever she could do to prevent a tax increase. We're running deficits in the city of Scranton that are going to catch up with us next year. Well, then that's the way it's designed. She'll be resigning before she even has to do it. She'll lose to Rob Bresnahan, and then she'll resign and leave it to the next batch, just like she did on the Scranton School Board. Okay, let's leave the tough decisions. Let me get out of here. And she'll be gone. That's what's going to happen. Somebody else texts in, Barbara may only have one mule, Mr. Poe, but the Democrats are loaded with jackasses. Unfortunately, they are. Hey, let's go to Razor from Peckville. Razor, how are you, brother?
Good. How are you?
Great.
So I don't know. This is probably going to be a little bit off subject, but I want to talk about Hassan Piker and the Democrats' reaction to him.
Yeah, we are not off. That's not off subject at all. It's another of the symptoms that should give us great pause for people voting Democrat.
So I'll tie it in a little bit. You're talking about Paige Cognetti getting elected because the Democrats around here don't care. They want power. So that's what, now I'll swing to why. The Democrats are like those three monkeys, see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. Yeah. There was one Democrat on TV yesterday talking about how we don't want to talk about Hassan Piker anymore. All we care about is gaining our power back. The Democrats, and especially the Scranton, Lackawanna County Democrats, all they care about is about power. So this guy is threatening the elimination of American Jews if they back Israel, right? And they can go for that. That proves they could care less about this country. They can care less about their children if they're going to let socialists take over. All they care about is the current local current power. And they don't speak out against it. And
we deserve 9/11. It's insane, especially as the 25th anniversary of that horrific event is coming. We deserved it. I mean, it's insane. These are insane people.
And you know a good percentage of Democrats are going to stay voting Democrat, even if a socialist does come to this area. And it's going to happen soon.
Well, Paige Cognetti is a socialist. She's a socialist. She's not high. By the way, we know by who is giving her money. The Soros gang family, the left-wing lunatic LGBTQ people. That's who's giving her money. Interest groups in Chicago and California. All of her money is being raised by socialist and communist America haters. That's where her money is coming from.
And that's from people who pay attention to that. There's a lot of people around here, especially around here, that do not pay attention to that depth. She does not look like a DSA member. She's probably not a DSA member. She does not sound full. She sounds like a regular old Democrat that we've been hearing for the last few years.
Trying to be.
That's what she sounds like.
Except her money and her speech. She just called for term limits on the Supreme Court. I mean, total insanity. She's an insane person.
Right. And I'm saying is that somebody like that El Sayed, who is a complete out-and-out DSA, and he doesn't want to admit it, moron, even the Democrats, if that kind of person came here, would stick with it just to stick with power. Yeah. Paige Cognetti is your local, well, yeah, she's lefty, but I'm a lefty, so I'm going to vote for her. Not a full DSA moron. In the background, yes, but people don't pay attention to that around here.
Well, and Razor, I've been telling this audience, and I think they get it. Please tell me what is the daylight from the communists and the Chuck Schumers and the people that Paige Cognetti is parroting. There's no daylight, zero.
But now you're talking common sense, and do you really think the Democrat voters that I'm telling you, over my lifetime, being in houses, thousands of houses, in all of those lifetimes, I've heard these people grab one snippet out of the news, one little headline out of the newspaper, and that's what they stick with. They have no depth at all. And what, 10% of the people in this area listen to us? That's 10%.
Well, the scary thing,
all
too,
those other ones are ignorant.
Is that Josh Shapiro came out with a lie about measles. Paige Cognetti parroted that lie, Parrot Page, and they now know it's a lie, and I want to see what they do about it.
Well, the only thing
by the way, the reduction in, just to mention another point, the reduction in vaccination rates occurred during the Biden administration, not now.
Okay, Bob, those last two things you said, has the local news, has any of the ABC, CBS, CNNs brought any of that out? No. So that's the problem. You're talking about how many people that listen to Fox News, your station, that's who knows that shit. Knows that stuff. Okay? But 90% of the other people in this whole country don't listen or pay attention to that.
Well, it's our job to reach as many as we can and make sure they vote. Razor, always a pleasure, my man. Thank you. 10:32 on my Bacardo Jewelers watch. Let's hear from our great sponsors. We'll come back with a Veterans Tribute, the weather, and as I always say, and as I always promise, more. our Veterans Tribute, brought to you by John Basiliga, a patriot, a true American, and another guy who does what he says. Featuring today one of his great companies, Basiliga Hospitality. We talked about the 3 great bar restaurants that you should check out before or after the games. But then there's fine dining. The places I love. A Terra 519 downtown Scranton, one of the most beautiful restaurants you will ever walk into. With new chef Alex Diaz, a new menu, new pricing, affordable options, including an amazing happy hour. A Terra 519 is a place to go this weekend. And the Stegmeyer Mansion, an old world take with the same beautiful experience in the Mary Stegmeyer Mansion, a great event space, but an outstanding, amazing restaurant with a great bar and bar menu. Again, the same affordable options in fine dining. A Terra 519 in the Stegmeyer Mansion. Joseph Gavanis. He was from Blakely. We lost him August 13th at age 90. He was preceded in death by his wife of 52 years, Margaret Peggy Smola Gavanis. Joseph was born in Dixon City and a graduate of the former Dixon City High School. He studied at Lackawanna Business School before entering the U.S. Army. Proudly served in Korea before receiving his honorable discharge from the Army Reserves back in 1963. For 38 years, he worked at Tobyhanna Army Depot, serving as director of several departments prior to his 1993 retirement. Membered in so many ways. Member of the Chopa Davy VFW post of Peckville. Devoted and lifelong member of St. Mary's Orthodox Church in Dixon City. He loved fishing and hunting. Never passed up a good dessert. And loved breakfast out at the Honky Tonk or Wayne's. 2 great stops. He's survived by his loved ones, including his daughter and her husband, his grandchildren, who will miss their Dido. Nieces, nephews, other family members. Joseph Gavanis. Joseph Zawatsky. We lost him July 29th. He was 95. He lived in Plains Township. Born in Plains, graduate of Plains Memorial High School, class of 49, where he was the high school football quarterback. He was a Korean combat veteran, serving all of us from 1952 to 1954, attaining the rank of sergeant. He was the owner-operator of Hasty Tasty of Plains for 27 years. After his retirement, Joe continued to work, first at Luzerne County Community College, Mount Olivet Cemetery, Wyoming, and last at Mohican Sun Arena. He served as Plains Township Commissioner from 1994 to 2006, was a member of St. Peter and Paul Church in Plains, coached the Plains Yankee football, and was a member of the Plains Sports Hall of Fame. Joe was a jack of all trades, loved fishing and hunting, horse racing, and all sports. He loved spending time with his grandchildren. Preceded in death by his wife, Elizabeth Betty Weiss, back in 2010. Surviving are his daughters, 2 of them, their spouses, 3 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, numerous nephews and nieces. Joseph Zawatsky. Our great veterans this hour, brought to you by our man John Basiliga and the great Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by Montage Mountain, where the water park is in full swing. They have all kinds of year-end specials. You got to check it out. It's another great water park weekend. Starting with today, humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine, it'll be 81 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear and cooler, 51. Tomorrow, less humid with sunshine, a few clouds, a beautiful start to the weekend, high 82, low 59. Sunday, periods of clouds and sunshine. A shower can't be ruled out, 85 degrees Sunday, low 63. Monday, humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine, an afternoon shower in spots, high 86, low 68. And then Tuesday, very warm and humid, shifting clouds and sun, a thunderstorm in spots in the morning, followed by a couple of showers in the afternoon, but it'll be 86 with a low of 65. That's water park weather. And it's 69 degrees right now at Montage Mountain. The five-man electrical band, Murph tells us they moved up to number 3 with their hit, Signs. This date, 1971. Bob Cordaro back with you. Somebody texted in, a caterpillar, I was talking about that regarding Mr. Poe, Barbara's mule, cannot predict the weather or the future or anything like that. You can't say they have a lot of fur. It's going to be a cold winter. No, they had a good summer. They were well-nourished. That caterpillar doesn't know how much snow you're going to get. And if you believe that, I have a dog that could predict the future. Well, it's a wives' tale, but it's a tale. All right. Look it. I'll trust you with the science over Josh Shapiro and Paige Cognetti because they're liars. Oh, Lord. Anyway. Chief Pat says he wants to emphasize that Paige Cognetti's Donald Trump in a blue suit. It's all about her. And that we know. Again, I repeat, he does things and gets things done. That's the difference. She does nothing except preparing us for a major tax increase after she leaves office and resigns when she loses to Rob this fall. Crazy. Hey, let's go to Jason from Tunkhannock. Jason, how are you?
Good. How are you, Bob?
Great.
I'm calling to let your listeners know there's an issue going on with Frontier that they're kind of keeping hush-hush. I had a problem with my internet the last couple of days. Had a technician come out yesterday, and he told me that within the next couple of months, people are going to start receiving letters that they are decommissioning all their DSL lines. So there will be people up here that no longer have access to internet or landlines. They're just shutting them off. They're done. And they're kind of keeping it hush-hush. So this is something that I contacted Tina Pickett about this. So hopefully people are aware and they're not left hanging with, the rural people up here that only have no option.
That's a big deal. I mean, that's people don't realize, I mean, every day we use the internet on our phones, on our computers, for everything. Wow, that would be devastating. How big of an area are you looking at? All of Tunkhannock? All of Wyoming County?
It's all of Pennsylvania. It's a statewide thing that they're.
If you have Frontier.
If they haven't been upgraded to fiber optics, which obviously they're not going to waste the money up in the rural areas. They basically have, if they don't have any other option, like I don't have another option. If I did, I wouldn't be with Frontier because their internet is lousy. But I will, if I can't find another solution, I will technically I'll be out of luck. Like Starlink is basically my only option if I can even get it in my wooded area. So
I'm guessing you can because it's sort of designed for that. A lot of people are going to Starlink. They're saying, hey, I can get it anywhere. It's been reliable. It is what people fall back on when they can't get internet.
That is true. But some people live so deep into the woods that it's just as unreliable as Frontier currently is.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to let you know and your listeners know that so they don't get this letter and have and everyone's rushing at the last minute to try and figure out what to do, that this is coming, and this was verified by Frontier. I saw the email. The guy showed me the corporate email on his phone, and I've also contacted Verizon because Verizon bought Frontier, and Verizon is saying, oh, well, your only other option is to go to their home wireless network, which isn't available up in this area either. So for people that don't have a choice, they will be without even a phone line, a home phone. Wow. So, and people up here that have medical issues.
And when do you think when are they saying it's going to happen?
He said they were given two different dates. One was in August, which obviously August is almost over, and that hasn't happened yet. So he said that it could be anywhere between now and January. And when people receive that letter in the mail, it's 3 months from that date that they will have no service of any kind.
Well, Jason, thanks for bringing this to our attention. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Right,
Hopefully people up there that might be affected by this do some research and try to switch over before then.
Keep us apprised, would you please? Thank you.
I will certainly do. Thanks.
All right, man. Hey, we'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. I'm watching a disgusting lie-filled Shapiro commercial criticizing Stacey Garrity for her. And by the way, she wanted them in rural areas, not where people live, the data centers. And he's the one who gave the tax breaks and the fast break, Shapiro. See, this is what he and Cognetti, these people do. They lie. We'll be back. This date, 1972. Alice Cooper, Murph tells us, had the number one hit in the UK with Schools Out. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. And before that, you had Hubert Humphrey. I really liked Hubert Humphrey. I didn't know how liberal he was at the time. I was just a young kid. But I got a kick out of him. I just liked Hubert. He was a likable guy. Back when Democrats were normal. 1968. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program, and he was the Democrat nominee, 1968, out of that fractious convention in Chicago. Somebody takes in, hey, Bob, love the show. Social media is what's separating everyone. On this Clancy trial, I'm getting she is guilty type vibe, and my girlfriend has been getting the opposite, that the husband did it. Like, how do you get two different sides? I'm the same way with Cutie. She still, she still thinks that maybe the husband did it. Now, I said this, and I could go this far. At the very least, the husband convinced her that she did it. At the very least. But she's convinced she did it, and it wasn't an available defense to say, I didn't do it, he did it. So, and it's fascinating. Cutie gets so angry at me when I say, wait a minute, you're forgetting about the 3 children. And they are, by the way. 3 kids get killed. Horrible. Somebody texts in, what is Shapiro's goal? To whip up measles and lock us down? More mail-in ballots to cheat? Well, as was texted to me in the Club for Common Sense, they're talking about vaccines and vaccinations, all the Democrats, if they take over the House and maybe the Senate this fall. These people are autocrats. That's who they are. That's what a socialist is, to tell you what to do, where to work, and how to live. That's the Democrat Party today. They're uncomfortable with your freedom, and they want to end it. Somebody asking about Dominic Marocco, and he wasn't your attorney? No, he was prosecuting at that time. Couldn't use him. I don't know. Somebody texts in, morning, Bob. Not sure if you had a chance to stop or talked about it, but I went to the viewing for Paul Welby yesterday. Line wrapped around the parking lot. Amazing showing by the community. I was proud to have known him and didn't mind waiting. Have a good weekend, says the electrician. We talked about Paul Welby and his service, his lifetime of service in the military. And we're going to he'll be one of our veterans tributes coming up. Another, what is this? Who is it that doesn't even know how to pronounce Wilkes-Barre? If I was interested in obituaries, I'd buy a paper. Sheer nonsense. Somebody said, I just turned off my radio. I want talk radio, not obituaries. Well, are you impatient? What are you talking about? I don't know how to pronounce Wilkes-Barre? Oh, you were talking about me. Well, listen, you must be a dummycrat. I just don't even know what to say to you. Here's another. It's amazing how the left says Rob is involved in insider trading and Trump is a pedophile. So why aren't there any charges brought against them? Nothing but lies, and the Democrats are weak-minded believing it. Cabinet guy. Another says, funny, my Verizon copper landline is down for 2 days in Scranton. I think they're shutting down old landlines. I've got Empire, and it's been working fabulously, and it's very reasonably priced. Another, this is one of the trolls. Bob, if you take out the crude oil and natural gas we buy from Canada, we have a surplus, not a deficit. And after refining crude, they sell for a profit. $60 billion. That's the trade deficit with China or with Canada every year. Number two, they're taking Chinese steel. They're buying it. They're repackaging it and pretending they're producing it and selling it, undermining our steel industry. And try to sell them dairy products. Tariffs as much as 250%. Trump wants fair trade We've given them everything they wanted for all these years, and he's going to straighten it out. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you. Somebody else, mail-in ballots to cheat is hilarious. You have the presidency, the House, and the Senate. No cheating there, I guess. No, you got to win by more than 5% to overcome the cheating. Please don't tell me you're that naive. You actually put a sentence together, so you can't be dumb. You can't be that naive. Yeah, people would never cheat in an election if they could. Mail-in ballots are safe. Oh, yeah. What are you kidding me? Seriously. If you're a Republican, you have to win by more than 5% to win. Period. That's the deal. Because mail-in ballots and people voting multiple times is completely on the Democrat side. And by the way, it's only because they could. I'm not saying Republicans wouldn't try it. You cannot cheat and present yourself to 3 different voting precincts in Tunkhannock. You can do it in Philly. You can't send in a mail-in ballot because somebody will know you in Tunkhannock. They won't in Philly. You can't harvest mail-in ballots and stuff them in a ballot drop box in a rural area because they'll know you did it. But you can do it in Philly over and over again. Stop being naive, or should I say stupid, because you're capable of understanding the fact, truth, and reality about that. Please. 11:01 on my Picardo's watch. We'll take a break. We will be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. One of the great songs from Goodfellas, one of Bo Dietl's most famous roles. And, of course, the Bo Dietl podcast, One Tough Podcast, where he says it like it is, and then he does it with us as well. Our man, Bo Dietl. Welcome back, Bo. How are you, brother?
Fighting the fight here in New York City. We're fighting the commies. Forget about DSA. DSA is exactly what they want you to think, Democratic Socialist America, because they can't use the word what they are, communists.
Yeah.
That's why, because it's illegal to use that and hold an elected office. This is all a calculated plan. They've infected Europe. Europe is finished. Now they come into our home ground. And when you got a retard punk like that, Abdul Bababu, whatever the hell his name is, with his best friend Frankenstein
El Sayed,
there, Pika Pekka, what's his name? Pika Pekka?
Yeah,
Yeah, that guy.
Pecker, yeah.
Yeah. So this big jerk stands there like Frankenstein. Look, duh. Which way did it go? Yeah, we hate America. Well, get the hell out of here. My point is, all of a sudden now with the cops in New York City, this scumbag mayor comes out yesterday and he says, I feel so bad for a person that died. I don't know how he died, but who cares how he died? He used a meat cleaver on two people, killed one, chopped the other one up. And this mayor comes out and says he feels so deeply sorrow to the family of this murderer. And then on top of it,
That's the guy that died at Rikers, right?
He should have died sooner.
Yeah.
He's a murderer with a meat cleaver. And this mayor comes out. Why doesn't he talk to the family that the guy chopped up? He didn't care about the family. Here's the real stinger. 4 New York City young cops have committed suicide because of depression in the last 4 weeks. And this scumbag mayor never said a word, never went to the families, never cared about these New York City cops. He's a piece of garbage, and on top of it, he's got these judges that he put. There's one in Brooklyn, this regurgitation. All of a sudden, they get attempted murder shootings, and they're looking for $150,000, $200,000 bail. This son of a gun, all she does is lets them out and says, return on November 27th after Thanksgiving. This is a guy who shot a dog, shot at a guy, attempted murder, 14 priors, and these judges are just letting them out. Where are we going?
Bo, the Blakeman race is getting tight, isn't it? Like, people are discovering who Kathy Hochul is, despite it being such a blue state.
Yeah, all Kathy Hochul is a person that was put in to the lieutenant governorship by Andrew Cuomo because she was the one in the classroom the most likely not to succeed. She was a nobody. So he felt if she put, we used to have Fredo, in The Godfather, the son. Hey, I'm Fredo. I'm your older brother. I'm smart. So they put her in as the female Fredo of New York State because she was the least likely to bother anything. And then she got uplifted to the governorship when Cuomo took the pipe. And the next thing that happens is now she wants to hold on. So she has no clue what she's doing. She stands there with those teeth. Get your teeth fixed already. Snaggletooth. And all she does is she's so afraid of the little commie punk smiley face, Mondami. He was upstate New York. I just said on one of my podcasts, where were you upstate? Apple picking, you punk. They got no apples in Uganda where you come from. Go back there and ride an elephant. Stay the hell out of my city. So now, basically, she will do anything for the commie because she wants that vote. She wants a vote. Bruce Blakeman is like 10 points out now, much further ahead than the other fellow that ran against. The only way, and I told Blakeman, I was with him the other night, I tell Blakeman, we got to get you in all 5 boroughs. Here's the deal. Hardworking black, hardworking Hispanic, hardworking people don't want this garbage. They're pricing us out with these DSA little white punk kids that are now got daddy and mommy's money, and they're in Brooklyn. They're going into black neighborhoods like Bedford-Stuyvesant. The prices are going up so high with the apartments right now. They can't live. And this is what he wants to do. He wants to price them out. And then the BS about these grocery stores. This is another joke. Now he's giving the grocery stores to people that owe money to the city. He is so out of touch. And you got to look at the gang that he put in there. All these commies. I won't use the word DSA. They have DSA. It looks like the Night of the Living Dead. The chancellor, who's under investigation for no bid contracts. Then you have the woman who's in charge. He actually has a deputy commissioner for DSA to bring people and knock on doors. 100,000 people. They're going after every race: assembly, state senate, federal races. And what they're trying to do, Bobby, is they're trying to take over every race. It's like cancer. People who are listening, and I'm part of it too, people who've had cancer and loved ones who have had cancer, it eats it like Pac-Man. And that's what they're doing with communism, little by little. And what's going on in Michigan with that Abdul Scumbag and all these other candidates that they're running. And then when you got Dearborn, Michigan, 60,000 people demonstrating with flags from death to America in my country.
Yeah.
In my country. And now I just read this other piece of garbage. When he takes the pipe, I'm gonna have a party. George Soros and his ugly son Fredo there. All of a sudden now, Scott Bessick, the head of Treasury, is gonna yank the tax exemption for their bull stuff there. The Soros Open Fund. He's the one that's funding probably billions of dollars when you look at it for all these DSA and communists. One reason: he wants to destroy this country. Hey, you fat, ugly Hungarian, go back to Hungary, okay? Get out of my country and take your Fredo-looking son with you, with his wife, Amadama Duma. She was married to the guy who was showing his boner all over the place. What was his name? Congressman Boner Nose? What was that? Wiener with his little wiener. Yeah, you know what? Take your son and you and go to, it's called Margaret Park, and it's in Hungary, and that big, beautiful city. What's the name of that beautiful city in Hungary? The capital there. Budapest.
Yeah.
Budapest. There's a park called Margaret Park. Soros, take your son, get a picnic basket, and get out of my country.
By the way, he's the Soros family are max contributors to our Democrat mayor of Scranton, who has the same image company called Fight running her campaign as Mamdani's, and the Soroses maxed out contributions to her. What does that tell you about her ideology?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is going to be an easy choice for the intelligence. What worries me is what they do, how they do it. And we remember one thing when President Trump ran the last time. Towards the end, Elon Musk put $200 million into the race. But he didn't just put the money in there, dumb money. That's called dumb money. No. He categorized which states were the states that can swing states. And he focused on advertisements, mailings, and all kinds of things, getting people on the street. The DSA, communists, let's call them communists, DSA/communists, what they're doing is they target on all these small races. They have the blanket of people knocking on doors, telling people, giving literature about you're going to get free this, free that. So the moron, unintelligent voter looks at this and goes, hey, I could get free food. Hey, I get free buses. Where's your free buses, you smiley son of a gun? He will promise anything. And the normal amount, the average voter, I'm sorry to say, are morons. Because they listen to this, they don't realize what the facts are. We're touching upon right now a wave of communism in our country. And when you see what has happened with the negativity towards the police department, here is one real kicker. So there was this young cop with 20 years on the force. He got an EDP, a emotionally disturbed person, in the back of an ambulance. He smashed a window. He cut his hand, not being, just crazy. Yeah. So he's in the back of an ambulance, and now they're trying to get him handcuffed. He's trying to hit the cops. So the one cop gets him in a headlock, which I've used hundreds of times. Nobody dies. The worst that can happen, they go unconscious and they faint. That's it. But because this whole George Floyd bull crap, this guy now, they grab him. He could retire. He could have retired. They fired him. He went to trial. He got convicted. He's looking at 7 years in jail. And you know what the
Oh, my
scumbag judge
God.
did? You know what the scumbag judge did? This
Hmm.
is a cop, 20 years. Put him on Rikers Island, no bail. No bail.
Oh, my God.
When I got murderers, attempted murders, rapists releasing. And on top of it, I just talked to Blakeman, and he's Nassau County. Snaggletooth Hochul told Blakeman's police commissioner, Pat Ryder, great police commissioner, he told him that she told him that he cannot turn. She passed a law, an actual law. You get a person who's an illegal immigrant and legally in this country, violent felony, you bring him in, you can't turn him over to ICE. What reason in God's name wouldn't you be able to turn them over? They're illegally there. They committed a violent felon. Why can't you turn away? So I told Bruce, I'm on his Homeland Security Advisory Council. I just sat with Mark Wayne Mullen last Tuesday. I was in Washington. But listen to this. I'll go to Nassau County, and when one of these scumbags come in there and illegal with a violent crime, I'll grab him. I'll pick up the phone. What you gonna do about that, Snaggletooth?
Hey, Bo, and thank you for all the political views. But you've got Gravesend coming back this fall, right?
Yeah, Gravesend 3. They brought in Shaq O'Neal. It's turning now. All of a sudden, my friend who runs at Will DeMayo, he's smart. He goes, you know what? If I bring Shaq O'Neal, Shaq's got almost 50 million followers. That would be a good idea. And he's got a lot of cash. So all of a sudden, he brought in money. He owns half of it now. So the whole conversion of the Italiano boys is going to become. We're going to be having a lot of black superstars there on the show. It's going to have a whole nother audience. It's not going to be the Goomba Italian thing anymore. It's going to be swinging more to the Black Brothers, like we did with the Godfather of Harlem. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. And is Godfather of Harlem going to have another season, Bo?
No. Nope.
Oh, I love that show.
They just did. I think they did 2 episodes with Forrest Whitaker. But who did I play? I played Tommy Lucchese. Lucchese, I think Lucchese took the pipe. I took the pipe, I think.
And that's what happens in mafia movies, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I just did. I got on film for this. They're filming again. My friend Stallone. I know him a lot of years. They're doing the Tulsa King filming in New York.
Oh,
So
neat.
I did a little casting for a part of course, Dino Belmonte, of course, a Goomba.
Yeah.
And I hope I get it, but maybe I won't get it. But it is what it is.
Oh, I'd love to see you on Tulsa King. I do like that show. At first, I thought it was corny, and then after watching it for a little while, I'm like, it's just very entertaining.
I like Stallone. I mean, look at what he did from Rocky to Rambo. This guy's a real deal. I like him. He's in some shape. He's 80 friggin' years old, and he's in great shape.
Yeah. Not unlike my Bo Dietl, who's much younger than
Well,
that, but still.
I'm going to do, when I get off the phone, I'm going to do my 88 push-ups. I can't squeeze 90 out today. 88, I'll squeeze out. No, I do one shot. I no set this. I get them done. That's it.
Love it. Well, hey, Bo, thank you so much. We always love hearing from you, and we're following you on One Tough Podcast.
All right, my friend. I just sent you the newest one.
Love
Bye-bye.
it. Thank you. Bo Dietl. We'll take a break and be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Paul McCartney and Wings. Murph tells us this date, 1976, moved up to number 3 with their hit Let 'Em In. And before that, the nomination of President Bill Clinton, the re-nomination, for second term at their national convention in Chicago, this date, 1996. All right, now here's the problem. Okay, here's the problem with Dummycrats. Here's the text. Get your facts right. You could only vote once by mail in Lackawanna County as well. There's a barcode that prohibits you from voting more than once. I did not say you could vote by mail more than once. See, you don't listen. You hear a trigger. They hear a trigger word, and then they just go off into the wilderness. I said that the people are harvesting these mail-in ballots from people who don't want to vote and some who don't even know they're voting, and they stuff them in the boxes. That's what I said. And that they go to the polling places, multiple polling places, and they vote in places like Philadelphia. See, what they do is they'll conflate your argument and then argue from the false facts that they've just made up. This is what they do. On the same issue, somebody texts in, could you explain why we need drop boxes for mail-in ballots? Exactly. You want convenience? Put it in your mailbox. The mailman will take it. The listener continues. They can either take them to the post office or the mail carrier can pick them up from their home mailbox. Drop boxes are only a way to cheat. ALTS. Amen. You are 100% right. Somebody says, LTS, Bob, where can we send contributions for Rob Bresnahan's campaign so the money goes toward the campaign instead of the whole party? To Rob Bresnahan's campaign. Just get in touch with them. I'm sure there's a robbresnahan.com. No, it's fascinating. And let's do Mother Teresa real quick so I do not forget, because we're already at 11:29. Wow. She says, if you hear someone who doesn't want to have her child, who wants to have an abortion, try to convince her to bring the child to me. I will love that child, who is a sign of God's love. I don't think any human heart should dare take life or any human hand be raised to destroy life. Life is the life of God in us. Life is the greatest gift that God has bestowed on human beings, and man has been created in the image of God. Life belongs to God, and we have no right to destroy it. Amen, St. Teresa, Mother Teresa, for today. Thank you, Mary Regina. Outstanding. All right, let's go to the break first. We'll come back. We got a couple calls holding, and I want to get to. But let's hear from our great sponsors. We'll do the Veterans Tribute. We'll do the weather, and then we'll get to these calls. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Our Veterans Tribute this hour, as with every hour, this day as with every day, is brought to you by our man, John Basiliga. And on Fridays, as we head into the weekend, we start thinking, where are we going to have fun? Well, that would be the Basiliga Hospitality Group in all of its iterations, including the Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township, the Far Street Tavern on Far Street in the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton, the Scranton Art House, the top voted movie house in Northeast Pennsylvania, the Queen City Tavern on the main drag in downtown Oliphant, a Terra 519 on Linden Street, 519 downtown, Sergei's Live right underneath, the nightclub in Northeast Pennsylvania, the Stegmeyer Mansion, an old world take on an amazing dining experience. And coming soon, Coney Island Lunch, the reimagined tradition on Lackawanna Avenue, coupled with Reagan's Ice Cream Shop, named after John's daughter. Teddy McHenry. He was from Benton, Columbia County. A Navy veteran, avid hunter, loved to golf. Born September 6, 1930 in Orangeville. He and his wife, Shirley Kindig McHenry, celebrated their 69th wedding anniversary March 16th. Teddy faithfully and honorably served in the U.S. Navy after graduating from Benton High School in 1948. After service, he worked at McGee Carpet Company of Bloomsburg and as a self-employed contractor before retiring in 1993. Respected community figure, he spent many years coaching Little League and playing and coaching with North Branch League Baseball. Active member of the Benton Christian Church, Disciples of Christ, where he served as deacon and chairman of the trustees. He loved golfing, playing cards, and cheering on his beloved sports teams. He was an avid hunter, a member of the Bee Cellar Hunting Club in Stillwater. Teddy and Shirley, his wife, spent their retirement years and winters in Ruskin, Florida. Surviving in addition to his wife Shirley are his 2 children, their spouses, 4 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, a slew of siblings, and other family members. Our veteran this hour, Teddy McHenry. Brought to you by John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast. Today, humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 81. Perfect water park day at Montage. Tonight, mainly clear and cooler, low 51. Tomorrow, another great water park day at Montage. Less humid with sunshine and a few clouds. Beautiful start to the weekend, 82 degrees, low 59. Sunday, periods of clouds and sunshine. A shower cannot be ruled out. Well, really? It never can be. High 85, low 63. Another great water park day. Monday, humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine. An afternoon shower in spots other than Montage. A great water park day again on Monday. High 86, low 68. Tuesday, very warm, humid, shifting clouds and sun. A thunderstorm in spots in the morning, followed by a couple of showers wherever in the afternoon. Another great water park day with a high of 86 and a low of 65. 71 degrees right now at Montage Mountain, where the water park's rolling. August 28, 1999, Cheap Trick celebrated their 25th anniversary together with a concert at Davis Park, Rockford, Illinois. They were joined on stage by Slash of Guns N' Roses. And that's a performance of Surrender with Slash. Bob Cordaro back with you. Quickly, Mr. Paul sent me this note. And this is a big deal, the Maha movement. General Mills announced that all of its cereals in the United States, including Trix and Lucky Charms, one of my favorites, are now made without artificial colors. By the end of next year, the company says 100% of its products, including fruit snacks and baking products, will be made with natural dyes. Currently, about 90% of General Mills products are made without those artificial colors. Instead of using petroleum-based synthetic dyes, General Mills has completely re-engineered its recipes to extract vibrant pigments from natural spice alternatives. Maha is working. It's working. They're getting it done. Let's go to Doug from Archibald on the blower. Doug, how are you?
Hey, what's up, brother? God bless you, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you. He has blessed me. Being
Amen.
with you is a blessing in and of itself. I mean it.
Yeah, for sure, and we're nothing without him. I just want to say, first and foremost, to all the brave men and women, past and present, thank you all for your service, including my uncles who have passed, but we'll never forget what they have done.
You should let us do a veterans tribute to them when you get a chance. Get me the info. We'll do it, all right?
I appreciate that, brother. I really do, and I want to say there were just two things, and it'll be really quick. When I take my godson up to the, Lakeland Chiefs football stadium before, with the national anthem and everything, I say, I point over there and I say, you know what, without the brave men and women, I said, this would not be possible. And it's important that we instill that in every young person's heart because it's not done enough, because it just looked at as just a song.
Bully for you, Doug. Bully for you. That's great.
Right? So I love that, and I tear up myself every time I hear it. I don't, if no matter what the game, if we're playing Dunmore, it's a huge game, Lakeland Dunmore. That's out of my thoughts right then. First, I tear up. I look at the flag, and every single time. So, but yeah, the other thing was this. I'm not trying to beat the drum anymore today, on Cognetti, but this has really been bothering me. And I've even called WNAP on their talkback and think maybe they can get the rolling, but they're not going to do anything about this. When you're driving through Scranton, you're going down through Southside and going past the police department and the factory and all that. What do you first notice? Your car's ready to fall apart, and then you're thinking to yourself, "Where's the money?
Yeah.
Where did it go?" And you see all these murals put up. Well, those people didn't paint it for free. And then you see these sidewalks that are being torn up by the courthouse. Okay, well, if there was minor repairs, sure, do that, but you don't have to put all this. Fix the roads. Fix the roads.
Yep. I said it from the beginning. When we got the $69 million from the Biden administration, and by the way, we got no more than any other area of the country. We got our proportionate share only. But that aside, we had $69 million. I said, fix City Hall, fix Naog Park, put the pools in, and fix the streets. No, we used it on consultant who hired a consultant who hired a consultant, and we blew the money. She blew every penny of it.
Every bit of it. And, there's a point where, and I'm not saying there's conspiracy here, but it's almost like you get what I'm saying when I say this. I say, hey, is there like a kind of like a backdoor alley deal with these alignment shops and these tire shops? Because you know what I'm saying?
It could be. You don't know.
Well, hey, brother, you have a wonderful weekend. God bless. And you know what? To all the high school football teams starting tonight and tomorrow, God bless you guys. Say your prayers for them, that they keep safe, and more importantly, have fun. Enjoy their time in high school.
Amen. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, man. Let's go to Wayne from Einan. Hi, Wayne. How are you, man?
Hi, Robert. I just want to tell you, had to make a trip to the wonderful thriving metropolis Scranton this morning. And I'll tell you what, it was exciting, okay, coming down Wheeler Avenue, okay?
Yep.
I saw less holes in roads in Vietnam than I did on that one. It's unbelievable. Oh my God!
And once you get off Wheeler Avenue, it gets worse. Sad to say.
It gets worse, really.
Yes.
I was on my way down to the hospital to see my sister-in-law. Well, stay with my sister, and wow, I couldn't believe it, Bobby. That was unbelievable. I haven't been in Scranton in a while. Okay, but wow, that was unbelievable.
It's incompetence, Wayne, at a level that we've never seen. And Jimmy Connors was a great guy, but he was incompetent. There was a level of incompetence there.
Right.
But he loved the city so much and the people so much that he made up for his incompetence. This mayor is incompetent, and she doesn't like the people. Period.
I can't see where she likes the people at all. But the roads the way they are, oh my God, they're horrible.
It's embarrassing.
I mean, they're horrible.
Yep.
And I imagine Central City is probably pretty good. Okay, but after that, no,
that would be a
God.
no.
Oh my God.
And she's doing everything she can to cover stuff up before her election, because again, it's election year every year for her. It's a sad level of incompetence and wasting money. You just can't make it up.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You people live in Scranton, and I used to live there, and I love the city, but oh my God, what a disaster!
I know it. Wayne, always a pleasure, and God bless your family. Let's hope everybody gets better.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, you too. Hey, Jim from Harding on Caroline Levitt. Wasn't she a great press secretary, Jim?
Oh, man, that broke my heart when she had to step aside. But I found the perfect replacement for her to stand behind that podium and go after the fake news.
Who?
That guy that you had on 20 minutes ago with the New York
Bo Dietl.
Could you imagine him behind that podium?
Yeah. Oh, I wish I talked to you before I had Bo on. We could have him eating that up.
Oh man, that would be great, wouldn't it?
I'm going to tell him that. I'll call him and tell him that one of our great listeners, Jim from Harding, wants you to be the next press secretary.
Oh man, I'd be replaying that over and over every time he was up there.
It'd be the highest ratings ever.
But he'd go after him even more. He made me laugh, that guy.
Love it. Thank you so much, Jim. My pleasure.
Yeah, you
man.
have a good day.
All right, let's go to Kevin from Duryea. We got about a minute, my man. Fire away.
Paige Cognetti, I traced her roots back to Nazi Germany, the Lutheran bastard. She's not only a DSA, but she's also a socialist. She's a communist. I traced her back to.
Well, now, listen. Kevin, take it easy
Lutheran.
now. We can't have you go off the rails. The Bulldogs are Lutheran. Come on.
All right. I'm going to watch PA play East Stroudsburg tonight. Dress warmly.
Have fun.
Have a stroke.
All right, man. Thanks, Kevin. Kevin he goes off the rails. We got to get him back on. Hey, we're going to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Lots to do. And reminding you, we're on live stream on YouTube. Bob Cordaro Show, WILK. Roach Supply bringing it to you. Premier Bath and Kitchen Supplier in Northeast Pennsylvania. 75 years in business because they're great at what they do, because they're honest, because they will deliver for you. And I know their customers. It's true. Visit roachsupply.com today, ROCHE. We'll be back. Somebody text in, how about contributions to that New York City police officer that Bo Dietl spoke about? The good people of America need to take our country back. We do. We're in trouble. We've got a sickness that is accelerating, that owns the Democrat Party, and that is fully intent on destroying the country. It's that blunt. It's that sad. It's that scary. And then they've got wolves in sheep clothing, like Paige Cognetti, like Josh Shapiro, the two of the phoniest people on the planet, lying about what their intentions are and lying about everything else. It's a disgrace. Hey, we got to do two things before we depart for this weekend. It's Friday, right, Bulldog? Yeah, he says yes. Policeman's prayer. My man and a great cop, Nicky DeSando, sent this in long ago, and we try to read it every week because they're going to be the thin blue line protecting us over the weekend. Lord, bless the ones who wear the badge, the ones who walk the beat. Protect and keep them safe while they are on the street. As they wait and as they watch, doing good for all. Guide their minds and give them strength for each and every call. Ready to put their lives on the line, give them courage each day. Let them know you're always there in each and every way. So bless the ones who wear the badge. Protect them from harm. Always keep them safe and in your loving arms. And, of course, we love to finish things up with this poem, Tomorrow Never Comes, by Norma Cornett Merrick. And I found this in the obituary for the beloved Doreen Goryev. And it just reminds us, if you got a little more time on the weekend, at least most people do. Many do not, obviously. Like all the Basiliga hospitality gang, they don't. But you still may have time to reach out to someone you haven't seen in a while, talk to in a while. As we finish, by the way, with Derek and Domino's. Murph says they began work on their only album, Layla and Other Love Songs, with Layla. This date, 1970. And tomorrow never comes. If I knew it would be the last time that I'd see you walk out the door, I would give you a hug and kiss and call you back for just one more. If I knew it would be the last time, I would spare an extra minute or two to stop and say, I love you, instead of assuming you know I do. So just in case tomorrow never comes, and today is all I get, I'd like to say how much I love you, and I hope we will never forget. Tomorrow isn't promised to anyone, young or old alike. And today may be the last chance you get to hold your loved one tight. So if you're waiting for tomorrow, why not do it today? For if tomorrow never comes, you'll surely regret the day that you didn't take that extra time for a smile, a hug, a text, a call, or a kiss. And you were too busy to grant someone what turned out to be their final wish. So hold your loved ones close today and whisper in their ear that you love them very much and you'll always hold them dear. Take time to say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Hello. Or it's okay. And if tomorrow never comes, you'll have no regrets about today. Last night, former Lackawanna County Commissioner Bobby Pettinato had a little group of us up at his house. Fabulous, fabulous time. Wine, steak, just great. And our buddies Mark Schuchter, Joe Mesco there, Leo Vernetti. And we were talking just literally about this, how time is flying, how we have to save our country. And we were talking about people we lost, like people like Glenn Gress, that we'll never forget, but that we wish we had one more moment with. All right? We've got to reach out. Do it. You'll have no regrets. Our great veterans today, final mention of the veterans John Basiliga allowed to bring to your attention. Joseph Zawatsky, Plains Township. Joseph Gavanis, Blakely. Ronaldo Alexandria, Dixon City. James Blaszewski, Laughlin. And Teddy McHenry, Benton, Columbia County. Guys, have a great weekend. Be safe. Have fun. God willing, I'll be with you Monday morning. But for now, we have to gavel to a close today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense. The Sue Henry Show's next. Rob O'Donnell after that. But my Picardo watch tells me it's 12 noon, and we got to go. Have a great afternoon.